Alright, everybody go ahead and... Why are we not...
Force die!
There we go. Why the fuck is there only an Amy and a Joe in the thing?
Mine says the site
Because
can't
I'm
be
in a
reached.
fucking cab.
Oh, you have to set up your, probably haven't set up the VPN thing.
I did the tier thing. But let me try.
Got too much shit running on my computer. Quit all this stuff. Get out of here.
Joe, there's an Amy, there's an Iris. Kira, who would you like to appoint to roll Force die for you?
Has to be somebody in the server, right?
Yes.
Let's see.
Joe, Amy, and Iris. The only ones in right now.
Joe, roll my force die for me.
Mm-hmm. Can I just click this button again? It won't let me do it.
Just roll a Force die and I'll input it.
I'm doing it. One.
Whoop.
One light?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
We're short on
No,
those.
actually, I was the one who rolled the one light for Kane. You rolled
Oh.
2 dark, so
Oh, that
I know.
now doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Ain't that just the way of things?
Sure.
Still having trouble, Cody?
No, I figured it out. But apparently when you copy the text from Discord, it doesn't copy over correctly. So I had to type it out. But it's fine. I'm in now.
Gotcha. As soon as you in fully, put in. Okay. Come on. Why are you not letting me do that? Something's gone wrong in the code.
No.
Nice. Okay. So, who wants to give us a very quick overview of what's been going on?
We went to the docks somewhere on Skip. And yes, Skippin'. We went to the docks on Skippin', and then we found one of those docks happened to have some suspicious homies who Kane investigated because he got there first. And combat did not break out. And then Kane was like, cool, give me all that shit. The guy's like, all right, I barely believe you. And then he left. And it turns out we found some of the Bacta and also a lot of other weapons and other shit, which we're taking because we can use this to further our goals in finding the rest of the smuggling ring, probably. And in that like brief amount of time where that was going on, everyone else got closer to the docks. And as Kane was trying to escape, he saw a woman who was vibrating with Sith energy, and he was like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's what I said." And he was like, "Oh no, I don't know what to do." And she's like, "I know what to do," and kidnapped him. And Kana just sat there and watched it happen and was like, "Well,
Kidnapped. Okay.
that stinks."
That's an interesting choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
Kidnapped, quote unquote.
Yeah, we've been using
Alert.
the phrase kidnapped.
Ah, yes.
And meanwhile, Handwave, Tia, and Mindy had a conversation at the doctor's place. And afterward, what the fuck am I looking at?
Car. It's right across from me.
I have so many questions. um,
I would say that hand wave, simple get to know you conversation, probably.
and if he woke up very much still hurting, very much still out of it. And there was a nice little interaction between Tia and Iffy of Iffy realizing what was going on, and Tia kind of like, what the fuck were you doing? What the fuck is this? Waving around the text message. And as things were starting to get discussed and kind of like the meeting of the two minds, I guess you could say, they're interrupted by a very urgent call from Kana. So Kana, you called Tia. Everything on the dock has gone down. You can still see Kane walking away with this woman. What are you telling Tia? What's going on?
She calls Tia, and or I mean, straight up, she not even a hello or anything. She's like, "We have a problem."
That's how she opens it up, huh?
Yep.
I think I remember what happened last session. I think Tia's words, just hearing that, is just like, I was just there with you. What on earth happened?
A lot has happened. We found the Bacta, luckily. But Kane has. Have you found the ambassador?
Yes, I have.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. Where are you guys? I assume she's with you.
That would be correct. We're at the clinic. But what on earth happened in the past half hour?
Lana kind of glances around because she has been a little sus being in this area. She's like, "We'll talk when I get there." Okay. I need to get in contact with Violexa as well. Let her know what's going on.
Is this a situation where I should meet you, or... Well, if you can't really move in this state.
Wait, in a state? What do you mean? What happened? Is the ambassador okay?
She's alive. She got very hurt, and she is very injured, but hopefully she'll recover soon. She's awake. She's drinking juice at the moment.
What happened?
You know, I think she should tell you that.
I guess we have a lot to discuss.
Right, and... Okay, is Kane going to be meeting you here as well?
No.
Is there a reason for that? I thought you said you found the Bacta.
I can't go into a lot of details currently, but we found the buyer of the bulk of the Bacta, it seems. And Kane has set up a meeting with them. Unfortunately, he went along with them.
Did he... Do you have eyes on him?
Not for much longer.
Can you keep eyes on him? We can meet you there. Or at least I can.
I really think this is a case that we need the ambassador for, but
I can see what I can do. But she's really hurt, Connie. But I want to tell her about Kane. I probably won't be up to...
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
You have a good night, too.
Sorry.
Like, you can't tell the ambassador. Like, if I say anything about Kane when she is, like, less than 2 feet away from you.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Tia, if he's hearing all of this, like,
Now that I'm not in a car, Iffy is hearing all of this certainly. And
Mhm.
as the tone gets more serious, Iffy's like, "Oh, is Kane in trouble? Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just give me a second. What's the situation?"
Stay still. I'm trying to figure that out. Connie, don't lose eyes on him. If he's meeting with a bunch of other smugglers, you really can't trust them.
There's another reason to not trust them, too.
You need more than one.
Yeah, so one of our particular enemies is with them. Mine and Kane's.
As in someone that Lacey would really hate?
Yes.
That's lovely. Keep eyes on him. Don't leave him alone. We're going to meet you.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. At the very least, I will be there. But you can't leave him alone.
You're right. You're right.
So turn around.
I'm already... I can't get too close.
All right, just message me where you are, and we'll get there.
Yeah. Point is, he set up a meeting with his boss and their boss.
Did he?
Yep.
When we... You think he'd be a better liar than that, but... Okay. We're on our way, alright?
Logan?
Thanks, yeah.
Settled in, Kira, or getting settled?
I have arrived in my room, and that's good enough for me.
Right. What was that last thing Connor said?
Oh, thanks, Tia.
Of course. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Please do.
God, fucking... like the phone off. Tia's going to just hang her head and just massage her fucking temples. And it's very clear to hear that she's just muttering,
As soon as I leave, things just explode, don't they? I can't leave anyone in charge of anything.
Iffy this whole time has been trying to like make herself decent enough to get out of bed. It's a tall order.
Yeah, Rotha is just kind of like has turned in his seat again and is watching, not stopping you this time. He senses that there is some other shit going on from the little bits of conversation he can hear. It still very standard sour face as he's watching this. And if you're getting a good look at everything,
She's not looking. I don't know what you're talking about. I think the one look was certainly enough for her, and she's too freaked out to spend very much time staring at it as it is right now. So she's trying to like make herself decent while also studiously avoiding any sight of scarring, which is not easy.
Oh. Tia's going to just pop up after she has her little fucking "what the fuck is wrong with everyone" moment. She's gonna just stand up and try and assist Iffy in like making sure that she's okay and not going to topple over, because she's pretty sure that if she topples over, she will die.
You're not wrong.
But she's gonna turn to Rotha. It's like, right, well, unfortunately, we need her to be up and about. Is there anything that you can give her to make her more mobile, or or is this all we've had to work with?
Rotha kind of like looks her up and down, looks at you, Tia, and he just shakes his head slightly. But she's got in her system is about all I can give her if you wanted. I can drug her out of her mind, but
Not at the moment, no. We need her sharp.
I'm as sharp as can be. I've never been sharper. She says, clearly slurring.
Rotha will reach over, picks up just like some like little plastic thing that he's using for his like whatever he's working on in his corner, and just throws it at you, and it bounces right off your forehead.
if he
After it
tries
bounces.
to like he throws it at her forehead, and a full second after he tosses it, she tries to deflect it.
This is an awful plan.
Well, you're in work with her. Seems like that's what she's for.
I wish I'd known that before. Apparently, all of them are.
If he continues waving her hand as if she didn't just beef this horrifically, and she's like, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Kane's in trouble. I can't just sit in the bed and do nothing. What happened, Smokeless?"
We don't know how much trouble he's in, but we are going to go meet Connie. And she's going to inform Vilexa, and he might be fine, he might not be. But we're going to try and be there. But you can't push yourself.
Davik kind of like pushes himself off where he's been in the doorway to this place pretty much the whole time, just staying out of the way. Anna, you want me to be doing something?
Can you please come with us?
Oh, giant blue bodyguard around. It may not be what you want, but if it is, sure.
Mostly for moral support.
Have I met you before? I feel like I would remember a giant blue fella, but right now I'm on so much medication, I'm not sure.
Davik just kind of like wiggles a hand of fingers in Iffy's direction with a little bit of a toothy grin.
Oh no.
Just about call me Uncle Davik, and points at Tia.
If he looks at one, looks at the other, looks at one. Right.
She's
Go on.
she's gonna point at Zavik. You're not allowed to talk to her unless I'm there.
What, don't want me sharing all the embarrassing stories of how you got your start? Like trying to steal shit off of a ship with the captain right there in
We
front
are
of you?
busy at the moment. We have to get going.
As this starts up, if he like wraps her good arm around Tia for support and is like leaning on her more than she thinks she is. Like she thinks she's fine. She thinks that this is just like a cute little lean. It is not. This is most of her body weight.
Good thing Tia's strong.
And she like with her good hand still just kind of waves a finger at Zavik as like, you see, now you're intriguing me. Now I need to know these stories. You and me, we're gonna talk later. Name's Iphigenia FL, Hapen Consortium Ambassador, yada yada. You probably already heard.
Zavik just like his brows go up and there's just a slow one single nod. Yeah. One that's causing all the type of fire down there on the very bottom levels. Yeah, I heard about you. Zavik Orez. Roll me. Are you in this game yet?
I've been trying to get in, and the fucking 0-tier thing is not letting me in. So somebody's gonna have to roll for me. I'm very sorry. I will get my sheet for you, though. What are you? Oh, hey.
Iris!
We lost an Iris?
No!
We're going to have you roll for World 2.
Yeah, I don't have any ranks in that, so.
2-2.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll try my best.
2 successes, 3 threats. So that name, now that you're a little bit more aware and thinking, does ring something in your mind. Something Coruscant related, something Senate related. And you look at him, and the mention of bodyguard does click in your mind. A little slow. The gears are not going at full speed as of yet, but they're there. I'm pretty sure that you have heard of, you've never seen him or interacted with Zavik before. You have heard of Zavik working as a bodyguard once or twice. In and around Coruscant.
You can see her visibly squinting as she goes through this process that she's usually a lot better at hiding. You can see the gears turning because she's so zonked out of her mind. And she's like, oh, wait. Yeah, I heard about you before. All right. Well, it's good to have you around. How are you at driving? Do we need to drive? Where are we going?
Looks at Tia.
We're going to try and meet up with Connie, and, well, we can't really drive anything. We don't have a vehicle. So we're going to be walking there.
What are you talking about? We don't have a vehicle. We go out, we see a vehicle, it's ours now, and we requisition it.
We're not doing that.
No.
If he just pouts, visibly pouts. But it's so much faster.
It is, especially if I'm driving it. However, there's enough chaos going on. We don't need to add car theft to it.
It's not theft, though. It's perfectly legal.
No, it's theft. It's because I'm not going to give it back.
Well, I'll just file some paperwork when we get back to Coruscant. It'll be fine.
Zavik just raises a hand slowly. You just need me to carry her.
Tia looks at Iffy. That would probably be for the best. I can't exactly shoot while I'm holding her.
Iffy starts laughing and goes, I thought you said you could shoot with. And then she stops. And then she just looks sad.
Mm. There's
Zavik
a
just starts to come forward and smirks. You may not want to be listening too much to what she is bragging about her shooting abilities. Are they good? Yes. Is she magic? No.
Yeah,
what
that's
are you
right.
talking about? I am magic.
You are pretty magical. But, I mean, that's a Jedi that's got the magic, right?
Right, of course they do. Let me see it going.
Zavik will step forward and just kind of gives Iffy just enough like warning for like her to like realize, oh, I'm about to be picked up, and then she is in the air.
She will try very hard to go along with this. And I figure she's used to when she's being carried. I imagine she's been carried a few times in her life. She's used to going for the two-hand, stabilization. She keeps trying to do that and it keeps not working, and so she's a little wriggly.
Right, Zavik is very large and very strong. Doesn't bother him none.
Thank you, Zavik.
Thank you, Zavik.
And you're like wriggling around. He's kind of like watches for a second, and then his brows furrow. And he looks at Tia and waits for Tia to meet his gaze, and he looks very pointedly at the Bacta sleeve that is still on Iffy, and then back at Tia.
Z, can you tell me what that means? My mind just kind of blanked.
There's somebody you gotta get going with you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure if there was something else. I thought I was like, hey. Sorry, I got
Let's
distracted
just
by a
rip
bunch
the
of
Bacta
things.
sleeve off and
Yeah. Okay. Tia, imagine she took the time to just make sure her weapons are both functioning, meets his eyes, sees that, she's like, oh, right. Turns to Ratha, or any medical professional that's nearby, really. How do we get that off of her? Does it need to stay on for longer?
Well, ideally,
don't really
it
know
would
how
be
to
on
work
for
it.
most of the rest of the day.
But I don't think anyone really knows how to take it off of her. At least not without hurting her.
Yes, you're not planning on back around to come bring her to take it off, right?
If we did, well, that would be the best case scenario, but there's a good chance it's not in the cards.
He just kind of rolls his eyes. You see him like starting like swing side to side in the chair that he is in. I mean, just about any medical droid or doctor would be able to get it off.
Oh, great. We don't really have anyone on our ship, though.
And he kind of like stares for a moment and then looks at Iffy. You're telling me you're doing all this bullshit and running around with whatever the fuck you guys been talking about this whole time without having a doctor on your ship?
Iffy who has been wriggling and trying to get a grip and has been growing frustrated with her inability to do so in a way that she likes to, hears this and just there's a sad look on her face for a second. Look, we had a doctor, all right. Something happened and we don't got a doctor no more. So it's only been a few weeks without one. I don't exactly wake up anticipating to get lit up like this every day. But if it's a matter of needing a am I gonna need constant care for this?
Constant care. Ugh. Well, I think that more depends on how much use you want to get back out of it. Therapy, yes. Just
Iffy.
throwing it in a sling forever. Well, stuck with the doctors.
The thought of having to keep her arm in a sling forever is visibly horrifying, and she winces as he says that. And she goes, right, that's not really an option where I'm from, so looks around, spots medical droid. Rather, how much for the droid?
He slowly looks over to Mindy. Mindy, what is your reaction?
I think she would have reacted to the conversation about we had a doctor, now we don't have a doctor, with some rapid blinking. But when she asked this, I think Mindy would just look at Rafa.
Rafa just kind of like looks Mindy up and down, and then looks back at Iffy. You're wanting to buy my nurse droid.
Attempt at charming smile. Yeah, you wouldn't want me to go out into the wild blue yonder without care, now would you, Rafa? Your old pal, Iffy?
And there's a audible snort. Yeah, old pal, you shown up, what, 3 times maybe? Half dead?
So we go way back. 3 times is more than I see a lot of people.
He rolls his eyes and looks back at Mindy. And looks around the clinic and just kind of like, it's a very slow turning and spinning in his chair. And when he finally spins all the way back around to be facing you again, Iffy. You got the fancy job and all that shit, right?
That's what they tell me.
What string?
It depends. What strings are you looking to be pulled? If it's just a matter of getting into the cluster, we can do that for sure, easily.
You can get me into the cluster as a doctor.
If he nods, yeah, that wouldn't take no doing at all. All I'd have to do is just arrange for your passage. And I mean, if you want it to be easier, I could make it a little bit easier on you, given that you're, well, a foreigner and a fella's kind of a 2-for-1 blow over there. But I think we got a way to fix that.
And there's just this look of, like, at first, a little bit of concern, and then a little bit of confusion, and a tilt of the head.
If he will. She wants to try and paw at, her belongings, but she can't because she's holding on with one arm. So her shoulder moves very slightly as she tries to do this, and then she bites her lip and she just closes her eyes. Titi, could you please get the round thing that's in my pocket out for me?
Tia will do so.
If he nods to it, and thanks, Tia. All right. This right here, this is a cascader. It's what I used to look like her when I came in here. You might have noticed it. You put that on, you can look like anybody you want. You could be a fella if you still want to be. I'm not gonna judge you. You could be a Haven fella, and that's a lot more trustworthy.
And you see him at first, perhaps just a little offended. But then the gears start turning. He sits up a little bit, a little straighter. The chair evens out rather than it being tilted back. Alright. You give me that. Give me cluster. The droid can go with you.
If he nods, there you go. Easy as can be. See, I told you I'm still sharp.
Rotha turns towards Mindy. Kind of looks her up and down, then gestures towards Iffy. Well, you take care of her, and then maybe you might end up somewhere you like a little bit better than here.
I'd love to go back to a hospital.
Pained smile from Iffy.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Well, let's not get carried away here. We're not going to be in a hospital for a minute, but we're heading back to Coruscant soon, and the whole place is like a big building, and that's sort of like a hospital, right?
Mindy will smile and nod, and move closer towards Iffy. Not like poking or prodding, but just closer.
Zavik kind of like looks at Mindy, and there's a little tilt of the head. You wouldn't happen to have anything to protect yourself with?
She'll kind of shake her head, but turn her hand into like the multi-tool. So like the, I guess, I don't know, screwdriver comes out of one finger or something.
Alright, you staying in the back if shit goes down. Good.
Understood.
Iffy will look Mindy up and down. I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. My last medical droid, she was real fond of carbine rifles. Can you shoot?
I'm not programmed for violence.
There's a blink as if he tries to comprehend a medical droid not built for violence. And it doesn't seem as if she's heard of this concept before. But nevertheless, she smiles, and again you see the twitch of her shoulder as she instinctively tries to move her arm and can't. She's like, well, I would shake your hand, but the situation's kind of not looking great for that right now, so please forgive me. My name's Iphigenia Fell, Habe's Consortium. Who are you?
I totally forgot that they haven't actually interacted. I am MND22. You can call me Mindy.
Mindy, that's a great name. You're gonna do fine, Mindy. Do you like shopping, Mindy?
Blank stare.
If he just staring back.
Zavik
Looks
gives a
down
little bit
at
of a nod.
empty droid body. I don't think I've been shopping before.
Oh, we're gonna take you shopping when you get to Coruscant. Get you some nice little fittings and outfits and whatnot.
Zavik looks over to Tia. And there's just a look on his face. And you can tell he is thinking something. And chooses not to say it.
Smart man.
Found yourself on interested.
She just nods as if like, yeah, I did, didn't I? Huh? Of all the crews to stick with for once, this one's it, huh? She just, I don't know, gets all their shit together, grabs an extra juice box.
As Tia's getting the stuff together, if he sort of ends up like wiggling the fingers on her good hand, which isn't visible at all as a gesture, but she's trying so hard. And she's like, "Titi, could you get the jacket?" And I just we're gonna be bumping into Kana, and she can't see me like this, so be helpful if maybe I could cover up a little bit.
You feel Zavik going from watching Tia to looking down at you like you are growing a second head actively in his arms.
Tia grabs the extra jacket. It's her own fucking jacket. Right, I can grab the jacket for you, but if Coney is going to know about this, she needs to.
Wince. I don't. Maybe I could just play it off, right? Maybe I'm just a little bit tired, and she doesn't. A little bit worn, and she don't need to know about.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In all the conversations I've heard, you're from Habes, right?
If he nods, where else do you think they make 6 feet tall women that look like me?
He starts to say something, and then again you see him rethink what he's about to say. Less survival instinct, more of that's rude. Is what he was gonna say. Well, you're not really my cup of tea, so I don't pay attention. And he just kind of, you see his head go side to side for a second. I just didn't know that apes was in amongst all the warrior mentality bullshit where you're hiding when you're injured.
It's well, it's less about hiding that I'm injured and more about hiding the injury. You see, well, people on Hapes don't take very kindly to men. Most folks know that, but they don't like people with visible scars either. And if I were to turn up back at home somehow, with my arm looking like this, if I wasn't already disowned, it would happen again. And if he's clearly struggling as she's trying to talk about this.
Well, I see why Hapes stays in their little pocket of space. They must hate, what, 95% of the galaxy?
Just about. I'm the nicest Hapen you'll ever meet.
Well, then ain't nobody gonna give a shit. And he turns around and starts walking with you. Where are we going, Tia?
Tia, catching up, puts on her hat.
Right. I believe Connie messaged me where we're going to meet her.
Got it. Where are they meeting you? Iris, you're muted.
Iris, turn off podcast mode.
She's following Kane, so I assume it's like an update every few minutes. Like every 5 minutes, there's a new text or some shit.
Aren't they still at the same port?
They were walking off.
They were walking off.
Oh, walk. Ah, I see. Yes. Haha. Kane, the weirdest form of kidnapping.
So, Zavik walking off with Iffy and Tia and Mindy trailing behind with a new job. See if she regrets that.
Yeah.
We will circle back around to Kane. Kane, you have
Perfect.
gone back to the dock, or you were on the docks, interacted with a very obviously Sith pureblood. That not everybody in the galaxy knows what Sith purebloods look like. Jedi do because they've seen all of the reports and videos and such from Frontlines. And again, just to remind all of you, because Sith pureblood is a weird thing, Sith purebloods come before the Sith as an order. They are not necessarily all Sith, but the Sith order kind of grew out of and was inspired in part by their society. Sith purebloods are usually force sensitive in some form or fashion, but not all of them are anywhere near able to like become an actual Sith or an actual Jedi. They just have been influenced by being on Korriban, which is a force hotspot, force nexus.
So I kind of want to listen. I don't know if this is going to incite a lore dump or not from the Z, but I have to know. I have always been under the impression that Sith was a belief system and a way of pursuing the Force. But there's like a soft implication here that you can be a Sith but not be Sith.
Yes, because it's Sith pureblood is the actual name of the race. Sith is the belief system.
So Sith is both like a race and a religion.
Yeah, like this is going to be a very bad thing to compare it to, but it's the only thing I can think of. Please don't cancel me, Twitch, if anybody hears this shit. It's like you have people that are Jewish by like race, by ethnicity, and then you have Jewish people who are Jewish by religion. It's the same thing. You have Sith purebloods, which are a specific species within the galaxy. And then the Sith who you have to be extremely force sensitive and go through Sith ideology and Sith training.
Gotcha.
So I think from this point forward, I will put this out there so that it is understood and you guys can differentiate, because it is important during this time period. When I'm talking about the race, I will call them purebloods rather than
Gotcha.
Sith.
So, as a sort of tangential question, is this distinction well known, and is this distinction like this distinction to me implies that you can have someone who is born Sith but does not do Sithy things?
The distinction is not super well known, because the purebloods only really got revealed to the larger galaxy again as the war started. And there are a significant number of purebloods that are currently Sith, because the Sith grew back into power and back in their numbers on Korriban. So on their homeworld. So they just
Gotcha.
naturally have a large number of purebloods that are in the Sith Order. However, like, just having Kane near this person, he would know that she is not a trained, like, Sith Lord or Sith Apprentice even, because her level of Force sensitivity is too low for that.
Okay.
So unless
So it's
she
not
is...
it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
I thought this was like me going to dinner with Asajj Ventress or some shit, and I was like, oh, okay, well, Kane's not dead, but he's certainly not in a good spot.
Yeah, like, you would know that she has some type of Force sensitivity, which would also imply that she might know that you have some sort of Force sensitivity. Just depends on how aware and in tune she is with it. But yeah, it's not like you're going to dinner with Asajj Ventress. However, you are definitely going to dinner with somebody who might know Asajj Ventress. I'd be in line with Asajj Ventress, because as far as you are aware, there has never been a Sith pureblood or a pureblood that has not been tied to the Empire and to the Sith. They may not be the actual Sith, like, Force users, but because it's their homeworld and they allowed the Sith to be there, there's not been one that you've ever known that's been good.
Gotcha.
Anybody else have any questions about this?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Jeopardy music going once, going twice. Here we go. Okay.
Fucking speaking of Jeopardy music.
So you followed along with this woman as she brought you back over to the two others, and began speaking with you. And you had convinced her that perhaps there is, or at least been talking about, perhaps there being a business deal that could be had between your boss and this group and their boss. And she has since covered her face again in talking to you. So really all you can see is the gold eyes and red brows and the ridge of bone that makes up the brows. And how are you kind of presenting yourself in this moment? How are you carrying yourself, Kane?
I mean, Kane isn't like a stranger to situations like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like I figured this was sort of like what he was trained to do, right?
Yeah, a little bit of subterfuge and espionage, yes.
Yeah, so this isn't wholly unnatural or unusual or foreign to him. So if there's one thing he is really good at, it is looking unassuming and acting unassuming. Like he can really just pocket his emotions and ride the wave, so to speak, so that he gets through a meeting or a situation with some, like, I don't know how to say, like, official person who would not be aligned with the Jedi, like that sort of person. So he's not emotive. He's very flat, just keeping a flat expression, a flat affect, trying to keep very, very still. He is somewhat recovered from his initial shock of like feeling Sith vibes and just having a bit of a fucking panic attack.
So, as it's like the two men have finished their deal with this smuggler that you had interacted with initially, you see that there has been something exchanged. You're not sure what. In a box handed over. And they have gotten controls for the hover lifts that all of the crates and barrels are on. And the human currently has these controls and is starting to arrange them into a line. Assumed to move through Skip 1 more efficiently. And this woman kind of has not let you out of her sight, even as she has gone and talked to these two men and, reintegrated herself back into the happenings on this particular dock. She has very clearly kept you in eyesight and not wandered too far away. She turned back to you. It's a little tilt of the head. Tell me, what is your...
You know, it's a moment like this where Kane would probably have a fake name that he would drop. But I am drawing a blank on one. So I'm going to go with Kane, like, blinks for a second, tilts his head, and he'll say, isn't it more customary for the guest to introduce themselves first?
Guest? Do you think I'm the guest?
Well, I had gone through with a business deal. And the interceding crossing of paths was more you than me, methinks.
And she kind of... Her head still remains tilted. Golden eyes locked on Kane. As well. Decided to keep out. Look after your deal was done.
Kane will smile, and he will concede and say, very well. He will gesture to himself and say, my name is Corliss. Something like that, Corliss.
You can hear the most slippery smile that would cross her face behind the veil. And she dips her head a little bit in a nod. Pleasure to meet you, Corliss. You may call me Virginia.
he will gesture for her hand or their hand and say, "The pleasure is mine," and do like a very cordial greeting, not too familiar. Joke's on you, Iris. I thought of that in the interim. I didn't need a name generator. Sorry.
And she will accept the hand, give a little shake. Tell me about this boss of yours. Had to deal with us. And as she says this, you see that the two men have gotten the carts together and are starting to move. And without seeming to be willing to give you much of an option, the hand that was extended and given a shake reaches up and kind of slides across and over the shoulders and begins to pull you along. Not forcefully, but a gentle tug of like, okay, we're going this direction now. Joe.
So sorry. So is there like an equivalent to fast talk? Is there a bullshit skill where Kane can, without name dropping Iffy, he wants to describe Iffy, describe her business acumen, but he wants to avoid two things: her name and the planet Hapes.
Roderick skullduggery with that. Or you're trying to keep this kind of calm, composed affect. Can also work either cool or deception.
Oh god, it's got to be deception. I can't fucking do cool, man. It can't ever be cool. Deception.
Not skullduggery.
Do I have skullduggery? Really? I do. I have one
I would
rank in
hope so.
skullduggery.
I was about to say I would
Hell
hope
yeah.
so.
hmm
Let's do skulldug. And how many perp?
So you're still giving actual information. You're just trying to avoid certain things, right?
Yeah, he wants to give enough information that it's like he'll name drop other things, but he wants to avoid anything that can be directly tied to Iffy for the sheer fact that he's like, I need to impress this person, but I do not want them to have anything close to an easy time trying to figure out who the fuck I'm talking about. I just need to impress them. Or rather, if he needs to impress them.
Right now she's not being too poking around with you. So it's just be a 2 purple for now.
Boop, boop, boop. Did it roll? No, it gave me an option to do flavor text, which I do need to use at some point.
You begin kind of describing your boss. Are you trying to get... I assume you're trying to make Iffy more of a businesswoman than an ambassador or anybody like that.
Correct. The hope is the hope and idea is I would be able to give the impression that my employer is incredibly savvy and not someone who you can just, get like, this is not a person who you can pull a fast one on, and this person is worth your time.
Explain all of this as you're walking. Realize that they're leading you into pretty far into the space dock. Winding around and down to some of the lower docking levels, which are designed a little bit bigger for slightly larger ships. So, seems like you have found a interesting. What exactly is she looking? Regards to business partner.
Aha. Kane, he pauses for a second, and he kind of like he does that kind of look where his mouth is open a little bit, and he's like kind of pushing the back of his teeth with his tongue. That kind of thinking gesture. He says, "First and foremost, discretion. I'm sure you can imagine the line of work we're in. Discretion is key. And nearly any business venture is permissible, so long as it's discreet."
Only discretion? Particular desire?
I'm afraid I don't understand your meaning. Any business venture is not without its merit. However, if anyone along the chain were to have a problem with some part of our business ventures, the discretion is going to be the mitigating factor.
She kind of looks you up and down. And as she does, with a very distinct sense of the large Ratataki man kind of being a little closer. He has not wandered too far away from you and Avinia since this little train of cargo and people has started moving. But he gets a little bit closer, and you hear him say, only be like 2-3 sentences, in a language that just makes your skin crawl. You don't understand it, but you assume that it is a Sith language of some sort. She just kind of tilts her head in his direction, looks over her shoulder at him. Hana, you are trying to follow this conga line of impending disaster.
Yep.
Situation's under control. I don't know what you're talking about.
You being, of course, you also said that you were going to tell Vialexa of this.
Yeah.
So, first, we'll jump back in time just a little bit. What are you telling Vialexa, who's still on the ship?
Well, we have a bit of trouble, and we all need to group up.
What kind of trouble?
Payne has made contact with one of the buyers of the Bacta. And they, I don't want to say he's been taken hostage, but that's the closest thing I can think of. They dragged him along with them.
When was this? I literally just helped him like 5 minutes ago.
4 minutes ago.
There's just a long, deep sigh. Where are we
Look,
meeting?
I'm tailing them right now. I'm sending you as well as the others coordinates. Oh, apparently Tia did find the ambassador, so we're all
And
meeting
you
up.
need me on site?
I think that would be for the best.
Alright. I'll go find a perch or something.
I'll keep you posted.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kana is more directly tailing this group. Vilexa,
Yep.
you mentioned a perch. Are you trying to go wide? Or are you trying to catch up
Yeah.
with Kana?
Go wide. Get a different, viewpoint.
Gotcha. So it's a little hard. This is a very big station. Or a very big docking area, I should say. To pick out the group at first. But you do eventually manage to first spot Kana kind of moving from one spot to another. And then you look forward a little bit, and then you finally find Kane, and you assume to be the rest of the group. Kana, as you are trailing behind this group, I'm going to need a stealth roll from you. Because if you are actually successful in not being noticed, it is going to be 3 purple and a black.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have
We have 4
anything to
light
help
side if you
there.
want to upgrade that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to.
Hell yeah.
Go.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, so I'm gonna have to upgrade that.
Respectfully, if Kana gets caught, I don't think she can lie her way out of this.
Nope. Light side point. You said 3 purple and a black?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's it. Oof.
Oh.
That was big oof, ain't it?
Where's Charlie
For
to press F
those-
to pay respect?
Charlie's in the chat.
Well,
Press F.
Charlie,
They're here.
there is it.
For those being denied entry to the tabletop, what did you roll?
Or
Or
failure
failure
is
with
an
with
advantage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can I
So,
just say, no offense here to anyone this may include, but fuck smugglers.
Do you mean the class or just smugglers?
I mean more the asteroid itself, but you know.
I was about to say, like, the fuck did Tia do?
Oh hey, my game reset. Cool.
Why are you talking shit about Iffy's favorite hobbies?
Oh, that's your best friend's career right there.
So, Kana, you are trailing behind. And you are in this conversation with this woman. She has just paused it long enough to look at her companion. He speaks to her. And then you see her turn her head back, looking over her shoulder, which is next to you. And Kana, you're in the middle of walking between 2 kind of stacks of crates, trying to be as nonchalant as possible. But as you kind of glance ahead, you meet the eye, this woman, golden eye staring at you over a veil. And Kane, that language that makes your skin crawl. It's just a little lilt and tilt sentence at the very end that goes from feeling like you are hearing some chant, some esoteric conversation you were not meant to hear, to just hearing a predator growl.
Oh no, I was rejected.
Kind of tilts her head a little bit, still looking over her shoulder, still staring at you, Kana.
Hmm.
Tell me, what kind of enemies? Joe?
Hello, hello.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. I don't know why it wasn't picking me up. But what kind of enemies has
Your
has
boss
she?
incurred, yeah.
Yes. Kane nervous. He's visibly nervous at the language exchange because I mean, come on, it's got to be normal to be nervous at that, right? How many people speak evil? But there's like a noticeable like tug at the shirt collar, kind of like, and then he hesitates and says, "Well, there are many competitors in the areas that we work. I'm sure you can imagine if discretion is our priority, and it is, then we're open to many different avenues of business, which opens us to many different competitors. But I will tell you one thing," and he will bring his hands together and like weave his fingers into like clasp his hands together on before him, and he'll say, "War is exceptionally good for business."
As you're talking, see this woman's eyes drift from wherever they're looking over her shoulder to you, watching you like a hawk. Roll that skullduggery at 3 purple this time. As she kind of shifts and shapes and pulls to her full height. See her watch your fingers. Oh. And then she looks away and snaps a word. That language, and you see the Renataki man immediately turn. And he's walking in your direction now, Kana.
Oh, great. I imagine when when the woman looked at her, she just she kind of tried to give like a scowl, like a "what the fuck you staring at" kind of thing, and then like I don't know, turn to some kind of, I don't know if there's like a stall or a port that she could kind of step up to, kind of thing. But see, oh god,
There would be kind of like a almost like storage area that would be behind these ships. places you could like unload your ship and like throw it into the storage and close the storage door so that you could load more shit onto your ship.
Hmm.
Unless you just want to turn around completely and head to the nearest tunnel.
I think seeing the person also turn on her, then yeah, she'll turn towards a different tunnel.
And you're going into the tunnel?
Does it look pretty empty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, it's murdering time.
You see this man, and you see Vilexa, you see a slowing down the group that Kane is amongst. You see Kana turn and start making her way towards the nearest hole. And then man following her very briskly. Not even seeming to be trying to be casual about the walking. Just straight up following her.
If
We
I
can't have that. Yes.
if I have the chance, Kana will say keep eyes on Kane.
Have the chance to use
But
your comms. You're not being stopped right now.
But I have my bow set up. You know how much I wanted to pull the trigger on this thing?
I mean, you don't have to listen to her. Just say.
Can I have a one shot? If I mean, I can probably do both. No, I probably can't. Do you think you can take him in a 1v1?
To be honest, probably not. I'm already at
Okay,
half
well,
health.
I'm helping you then. That
There is a Tia that has supposedly been on the way.
Tia, who is so ready to shoot someone. Just give her someone to aim all of this anxiety and fear at.
Can I say that there is a group chat going on here to send to like, hey, I'm being tailed. Keep eyes
Also-
on Peyton if you can.
Did you post a picture of this? What did you call a Ratanani?
Ratataki, yes.
Ratatouille.
When you look at the NPCs, he's the gray skinned one.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I for some fucking reason was looking at characters and I was like, I don't fucking see any of the NPCs in here.
I wonder why.
Bad. Dude, I thought I was fucking losing it.
All three of them are in there. Went ahead and threw in the names. Even though you guys
Thank
don't know the
you.
names.
We know one of them now.
Yeah, you know one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, fine.
So
I'm shooting the spell eventually. Like, I hope you understand that.
Understandable. But if the rest of the crew are on their way, they could help Kata.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Violet just runs, like, puts it on her back and just begins tailing again
Mm-hmm.
from, I guess, like, whatever rooftop she's on.
You'd be essentially, so like, if they're walking along, can I make it visible? Do you see this line? Yeah.
Square.
Yeah. Like
A rectangle.
if they're walking from like the explosion towards the other end,
Mm.
you, Vilexa, would be over here. If you're
I
trying,
don't see this.
oh,
Scroll up.
Again, I have been denied entry by Zero Tier, so I cannot see anything.
Ah. Is there an update or something?
I
I
have no
just
idea.
ran a repair on mine and it worked.
How do you do that?
I re-downloaded Zero Tier and I hit install and I select the repair option.
Oh, okay. Works for me. I'll give that a go.
Anyway, you're like on the opposite side of like AU essentially. Probably hopped the Dawn over to an empty spot on the other side and ran along the opposite pathway. But so, Kane, do you react at all? Sratataki immediately turns and starts walking away.
This same person who whispered in fucking the black speech from Mordor to the person directly across from him. Is Kana communicating with Kane at all through their little one-on-one mental DMs?
I mean, if she's allowed to, yeah.
Good try. I'll say,
Just
because you are
no.
both under stress right now, I would want to force roll, see if you're able to do it successfully, or like clearly.
From whom?
From Kana. So
Kana, I'm going to need you to pass this one.
A force roll at 2 purple and a black.
No, there's the door.
You're able to get a very, very brief sentence off. Like 5 words.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Do the fucking critical role thing. We're gonna count these words.
Gotta do the math.
Casting, sending, relay.
Among Us.
What the fuck?
Sus.
Sussy Baka.
This is it's not gonna be helpful, but it is what Kana would say. That's the problem. But it would be
Double checking the number of words.
yeah, and triple checking the words. Stay in character. I'm fine.
Oh.
Are you using a semicolon? Because that's technically 2 sentences.
I gave her 5 words. It works.
Checkmate. Oh man. Shit. I don't know how much Kane. It's not that he wouldn't be able to piece it together, but how quickly he could piece together what that means in the situation. Shit. Then I can I say DM like right about when actually is this person can Kane see any kind of weapon on their person?
Oh yeah, all 3 of them have weapons.
No, the one the Sith woman. Does she have a weapon on her?
The pureblood, if you were this close, You're pretty sure that, like, in the folds of, like, the dress that she is wearing, that you have seen some sort of blade hidden in there.
Oh man, she's got the femme fatale leg knife. Damn it.
A bit bigger than the leg knife.
Leg machete?
Femme fatale leg katana?
A leg tana, if you would.
Shit. I'm gonna say that Kane will look at her, and then there's a now like switch in his demeanor where he's like, he goes from like trying to keep his affect flat, where he wears the face now unconsciously, but he is like doing calculations, like running through his head, like, wait, what's going on? That person talked, now they're gone. Kana said, wait here, stay in character. And now all of this stuff is like starting to add up. And
He
what was
also
the
asked
last?
about enemies.
Yeah, asked about enemies. Kane will like kind of narrow his eyes at this person across from him, this Sith person, and say, you know, you don't make powerful enemies without having powerful allies either. And war does make for some strange bedfellows in the terms of allies.
Kind of tilts her head a little bit in the opposite direction. There is suddenly amusement in what portion of the expression you. Oh. What kind of interesting allies do you think?
Kane looks very serious for a second, and like he will let the tension, or not tension, let the facade kind of drop for a second and say, your henchman, call him back. And Kane will take I'm, for some reason in my head, they're at like a dinner table or something. Like, I don't know where this conversation is supposed to happen. But...
walking along a walkway.
Okay. So they, as they're walking, Kane, he doesn't have like like his half cloak anymore. But he will, like, the affect drops and he will reach down to like his belt and unhook the saber and push it into his coat, and like just to keep it hidden there, but having one hand inside of his coat, kind of like, you know, just having his hand in his coat pocket. Nothing suspicious there, haha. I want him to be like at that situation, or in that prepared in that way.
Why should I?
If you want to work anything out with my employer, you'll keep your compatriots away from my assistance.
She
War
stops.
makes for strange bedfellows.
She stops. Turns so she is facing you fully, straight on. Looks back behind all of you, and you still see that the Raitaki is walking and is just about to turn into a tunnel. Back at you. Let's go following out to you.
Repeat that. I couldn't quite hear it.
So your assistants just go following around anyone who's talking.
He looks to the person she just sent off to the cave and he goes, no different than your assistants, it would seem. Is that a problem?
She kind of takes a little half step closer. Well into Kane's personal bubble. She's a little shorter than Kane, not by much. She's just about meeting him eye to eye. Rocco was walking with. Wolfriend was tailing. How are we to know that that isn't? How are you to know? Back to see who it was. Maybe you need better allies. Better bedfellows. They're so easy to call.
Kane, for the first time in this conversation, is a little bit mad. And he kind of moves his jaw back and forth for a second and says, maybe you underestimate who you're talking to. And I don't have a way, I don't have a good idea of how to do this. But I want Kane to completely mask off for a brief second and use the force in front of her in a straight up intimidation tactic of like, do not fuck with me or my friends.
Okay. Tell me what you're trying to do first.
I want him to say what he said, and I want him to like do a very delicate thing with the force. Like I can't think of a thing that would do it in a good way, but like,
Are you telling me you're gonna have Kane do the fucking Anakin pear shit?
something like that, like dead ass, something as effective and simple as just like, I'm going to show you who you're talking to right now, and I want you to understand I am all that and a bag of chips, my good feminine dude. Please do not step at me. Please do not step towards me or my homies ever again.
This is, oh man.
Like,
Nice.
Kane will say that, and he will. The best I could think of, the simplest thing I could imagine, is him like. There's no coin. There's not like a hard coin he could do this with, or some type of currency, but like he will take like he'll fucking take the lightsaber out of his jacket and hold it close to his chest, but show her what it is. And for just a brief second, he will let go of it, but not let it drop. Like let it float just like half an inch within his grip.
Okay. So, I will say that you're about to start a whole bunch of shit popping off very quickly, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Expect nothing less.
Can we just regroup?
You're very close. So because I have that hard cut off at 10:30. What I would like to propose here, I will let you do that for free, Joe.
Okay.
Because in some ways it's like, haha, you have triggered the trap card that I was intending on doing last time, where a fight was going to break out. You'll do this. Lavinia kind of sees, and you immediately see her eyes narrow and sharpen, and she takes a half step back and immediately barks out in that same language. You see the human who's up at the front of this train of crates and barrels and such turn in her direction. And you feel the shift from Lavinia of this almost cat and mouse game that she was trying to engage in into just cold steel. Same time, that Ratataki man has turned the corner into this tunnel after you, Kana. So you've gotten a good, 2 dozen feet down the tunnel. Far enough that you're kind of at a bend in the tunnel, and Tia, you can see her all the way down at the very end. You see this like little pink Twi'lek. Like, we found her. Still, a good couple dozen yards away from her. So you don't see who's following her. Why she is in this tunnel and not on the docks. But you do see Kana. With Zavik and Iffy and Mindy trailing behind. By Alexa, you, across the port, can see all of a sudden just the shift in body language. You are familiar enough with how people interact and being hyper aware of reading situations of whatever has just happened on top of Kana ducking into a tunnel and somebody following her has set off these other two. They're turning on Kane. So, my proposal here is you guys are going to start off combat. I will give Vialexa a free first shot. So as long as she actually manages to hit with the distance modifier, she'll hit. And next time we will start with the combat. It's cutting us off about 30 minutes early, but we will not get through this combat in 30 minutes. I don't want to cut us off in the middle of combat and forget what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Fair?
Seems sensible.
Sure.
I am amenable to this.
Nod.
So, Piper, I know you are not in this thing yet, unfortunately. I'm going to open up your sheet really fast. Okay, so Piper, you still here because you are muted currently.
Sorry, I'm here.
Hello, there we go. So you're wanting to use that fancy bowcaster, I'm assuming, right?
I gotta.
So you see that Kane has kind of set off this woman who's directly in front of him, and about 10-15 feet further along the walkway is a human who is in armor, essentially. Not Mandalorian as far as you can tell, but still very heavily armored. And he has turned back towards them. You also have a whole bunch of fancy arrows that you have acquired. Broadhead, the explosive tip, and the incendiary. Are you wanting to use one of those or just a standard bolt? And if so, against whom?
If I wanted to do explosive, would Kane be okay, or would he be in the area of effect for it?
Do it, hit me. I don't even care.
He would probably be okay. However, if you're trying to salvage any of the crates and barrels, there would be a good number of them that would get damaged.
Okay. I'm guessing the same thing for incendiary.
More than likely, at the current moment, yes. There could be a chance of people moving so that you can use the incendiary a little bit easier than the explosive.
Okay.
But at the moment with where people are positioned, they would hit the cargo.
Okay, then I'll do the broadhead, I guess.
Okay. This.
I'm gonna go for the main girl.
Right.
Man, I do all this cool guy, like cool guy, good guy, bad guy flirting, and you got to just shoot the one. Man, this is my moment.
You're the one who escalated this. You're the one who pulled the trigger.
So I could kill her. What do you think? The dramatic tension is for me.
Oh, trust me. If this hits, it will do a good amount of damage against her, but it's not going to kill her. These are boss characters, my friends.
3 of them. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna be fine.
I have quick strikes, which gives me an extra blue as well.
Extra blue. Right.
And we have light side points left over, right?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
You upgrade it? Go for it.
Yes.
Load that one up in the chamber.
This will be your heavy. Blue. This. And you want to upgrade with the light side point. And checking what this person has.
You just hear in the comms, I'm taking the shot. Hurry.
Snipers go.
This is
I got the shot.
long range, which is difficult by itself. She being 2 setback die on it.
Oh,
Or
Jesus.
shit.
Oh, but I can't. Can I aim as a maneuver as well?
Yes, you can. That'll give you 1 more blue die.
Yeah, I would like that.
I just want to
Chunky dice
appreciate,
pool.
yeah, the fact that we have 11 dice that are about to be
Jesus. All right, I am ready to see this dice pool.
I can't see it physically, so I'm Amy. I'm living vicariously through you.
4 yellow,
Look at the
3
screen.
purple, 2 blue, and 2 black.
And a partridge.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Hey.
3 success, 1 advantage.
Vilexa is fucking like, what is that, 8 ranks in ranged heavy?
Jesus.
3 wounds.
She has 3.
3, and then the light side.
And then the light
That's
side,
wild.
And the bowcaster does a base 8, right?
10.
No, it does a base 10.
Do not have enough to crit. However, you do have enough to add an extra point of damage.
Holy shit! You just said doo doo.
Sure.
All right, I'll mark that damage down against her as you shoot this arrow. Kane, you have just enough time to hear Vialexa say that she is taking the shot, and you see the arrow fly through the air all of a sudden from across the spaceport and hit this woman directly in the shoulder. She kind of stumbles forward and into you, but in that moment, as she lets out a kind of strangled sound in pain, you see her hand dip into the folds of the skirt that she has, and out comes a cortosis blade.
Good luck, Kane.
Yeah, I don't need luck.
Good
because
fucking luck.
Is.
Oh, it's gonna. I'm not gonna tell you yet because he didn't tell you.
And you know immediately you are in for a fight.
Pulls out a blade. Clever girl.
And that is where we are going to end it.
You have fucking fun with that, my friend.
You just hear a deadpan from Violet's like, huh, she lived.